So on this day, I thought I would look back at Manchester after handing Shield over in January, and so delighted to be away. I cannot tell you how good it is to be away, travelling in beautiful places that respect heritage, that are full of warmth and possibility, and also just a more democratically warm people than the insane tribal politics of the UK. So I see Shield is in a little bit of having issues right now, but it was given access to momentum. It was given access to, I gave access to Lib Dems, Greens, Conservatives, independent campaigners, housing campaigners. Before I quit the page, people don't post that's one thing, but also already people have had their employment and anonymous complaints made against them in their employment. It's the usual kind of crap that it just attempts to stop people having a voice in Manchester. If you don't believe there is a real problem in Manchester in democratic representation, just try and question some of the people, some of the elected officials. You'll be blocked. They won't respond to you. It is absolutely a non-democracy. Now, when you've got people, and there are good people in Manchester Labour, but they are already conditioned into weakness because of the way the system is set up. For example, councillors who have spoken up in public meetings forced to apologise on social media. And then recently, even though I try not to look back at Manchester politics, I had a big argument because I was sent screenshots about John Connor Lyons, who was making really barbed criticisms against Sir Richard Leese and how things were run, saying that he wanted to quit the Labour Party. For revealing that, after him being really abusive to people, I got told that I photoshopped and screenshot this absolute nonsense, and then I said, well, I can prove it. This is videoed from the computer, and he deleted his comments. People have no strength or integrity. They are just careerists looking out for self. When 95% of people in the polls we used to do for awful Pat Carney and all the awful things said about him, and the fact that he will remain in an unelected role for the city centre spokesman is just a joke. But you know what? This is the least cabal. There are so many issues. There are so many issues of bias and difficulties. It's wonderful being away from all that absolute nonsense, rubbish, trash, honestly. I look back at it with just a sense of relief, and I've got to stay out travelling longer and longer, but I care about so much about the people, the home that I lived in for 22 years and was essentially forced out of, bullied out of, and I just thought I'm not going to take any more. My neighbours say that these situations with homelessness, drugs, crime, litter, just filth are still just appalling. If they've questioned anyone, they've been blocked. All these serious issues, they're not being represented about them. It's just a bully culture. It really is a bully culture. So what are the victories today? The only victories today is if you find a voice for all your people, that there is a citizens' assembly that isn't dominated by absolute political insanity and dogma. They don't want you to have a say in the city. Don't even fool yourselves for 1 minute. The leadership want you to have a say in the city. They waste millions after millions, like on the factory, on so that Leese can have his awful vanity projects, his property conglomerates, his appalling associations with appalling people. It's just a protection racket. It honestly is. It's an absolute joke. To look back at the comments already on Shield, and I'm glad I handed over the page, it's just insane. It just makes me realise I'm just so glad to be out of there. But you've got to keep on fighting for yourself, because it is not an imaginative, responsive, pioneering, kind democracy. It's anti-democratic. It's anti-democratic to the point of destruction. And being away, and it's so lucky to be away, I see the difference that of how people can be, how better, inspired, pioneering, warm communities and people can be involved in the city. Smart cities, smart places, where people are valued. And that doesn't happen in the city unless you kowtow to this dire leadership. So, good luck, Manchester. You know, like the victories today, they're not victories at all. The victories is representing yourself, reclaiming your city, reclaiming the meanings and possibilities for the people. These people may think they're won for the moment. Great. Just look at yourselves. One day your day is up. Peace out.